Hi everyone, I'm so excited. We finally got out to an estate sale or two this weekend, and I'm going to share my finds with you. Also, I'm going to share a tip of what to buy and what not to buy, so stay tuned. So, I went to this yard sale, which was actually an estate sale. It was this girl's mother's house, so there was a lot of vintage items there. And I also went to an estate sale of a gentleman who was in the military, and both sales were pretty good. The yard sale, I ended up getting sucked back into my old way of thinking when I decided to start going out again this year. I promised myself I was going to find items that had a value of at least $20 on up. And when I got to the yard sale, I started looking at these items and started getting excited again. And she had a lot of Christmas and Easter type of items out, holiday items. And I was so excited that I started picking up little things that I've sold in the past that I know have sold. So I think just about anything can sell. But the items that I picked maybe were $1.50, and I know I can make $15 off of them, 15 to 20, and I'll probably take a best offer and back down to 15 or 13. But I did not follow my rule of trying to find items that were going to be worth $20 on up. So that's a little problem I'm going to have to work on for myself. But it's hard to pass up items that you know will sell for even in the teens. So I did it at both the yard sale and the estate sale. So let's get started. I'll show you what I bought and the values that they have and what I paid for them. Okay, this first item is jewelry. They had so much vintage jewelry there. Nothing a real high priced value, unless you see something that I'm not seeing, but everything that I looked at is a fair value. It may be in the range from $10 to $20, maybe 25. So I'm going to have to look up some of the pieces. We have a talco leaf or taco leaf back here. Nothing is gold. There's no silver that I can think of. But a lot of it was cool old vintage jewelry and Christmas. This little Santa's interesting. They had two Santas, but the other one was broke. And these little Christmas earrings are really adorable, and they also had some clip-on bells. She had a lot of clip-on jewelry. This one, I didn't realize it was old. At first I looked at it and thought it was newer, but then my daughter turned it over, which I should have done, and on the back it says Western Germany, and it's a scarf clip. So I picked it up, and the thing I was thinking as I was looking at all of this jewelry was, I'm going to lot it together and see if she'll give me a better price. She wanted just $1 a piece for each one, which is not bad, but some of them may be worth $15, maybe $12.50 or so. So I really wanted to get the best price I could for any of it. But like this horse was really cool, and I thought maybe it was some kind of designer horse, but there's no name on it. So I'm sure I don't know, I have to look up the price of it, but there's a lot of Christmas jewelry, and I passed up a lot. So anyway, like I said, my intentions was to try to get a good deal on all of it. This other item is a beer sign that I paid $1 for. And the whole time I'm just thinking I'm going to get a lot price off of all of this. This is a heavy one. It's not plastic. It's like ceramic. Let me turn it over. So I think it's older because it has a little wire hook on the top. I'm sure it was an older piece. And then we went to these. She had a table of linens. Of course, all the older ladies love to stitch and embroider. And I found these pillowcases. They were $1, and these pillowcases were $1. I don't think that they were ever used. They're still kind of stiff. They may have been washed once. I'm not sure. They're pretty really nice shape, and I didn't see any spots on them. So again, I paid $2 for both sets. Now this next item I was really excited about. She had $1 on all these curtains. They're kitchen curtains. Let me unfold it for you. And I've never seen any like this, so I was kind of excited to see them. Little poinsettias on the top with Santa and a sleigh and the reindeer. And she said they were kitchen curtains, and I said, did she have them for a long time? And she said, yes, they're absolutely vintage. She said she'd put them up every year, but boy, did she take good care of them. They're very clean. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4 pieces. So I'm excited about them. I think that these are going to sell for, I might post them for $49.95. They might sell, I think 35 is about the lowest on them. But for $1 investment, I think that's pretty good. And these might be in the $15 to $20 range. And this next item is these, I call them Poland ornaments because that's what they used to make back in Poland. And they brought the tradition, the people from Poland brought it over to the United States, and they still do it. But these are a little more vintage. I've had some that were made newer. I think these are older ones, but they're so pretty. And a lot of people like them, so they will probably sell maybe 20, I might list them for 25 to 29, and they might sell from $20 to $25. And I paid $1 for all 5 of them. This next item, 50 cents for all of these tea lights. I think they'll sell for $20. There's 12 of them. And this isn't something I normally pick up, but since they had peppermint stripes on them, I don't think they're as common. And they all work. They all have batteries in them. So they're in good shape. So we'll see. But this is something, again, I wouldn't normally have picked up. This other item, these are called Jasco little bear ornaments. And they're from Taiwan, which when unfocused here, focus. Jasco from Taiwan, and there's 5 of them. A little cat, which is adorable. And a little mouse. And a little puppy, which they are just really cute. And again, I would not have picked these up, but my daughter picked them up, and she said, what about these, Mom? And I was hesitant on them, but since she picked them up, I felt like I almost needed to get them. But I came home and looked them up, and of course they're only worth maybe 15 to 20, but that's still not a bad profit. This next item are these eggs. I question whether or not to get these, but again, they look vintage to me. I'm not sure if she painted them or if she bought them painted. Anyway, there was this box, and she had $3 for all of them. And I thought maybe she meant all of these because these were sitting next to it too. But these are a little different. There's some good wooden ones in here like these. And I think I'm going to separate them out because there's such different ones in there. And I don't know, I might sell them in 2 different lots here. I'm not sure yet, but this is probably a $15 to $20 range item. And this next one is a ice bucket, and I paid 50 cents for it, and it's in really good shape. There's some pins in there that are left in there, but it's in really good shape. It's just plastic, and there's no name on it, but I thought It's very interesting, and I sold a turquoise plastic bucket for about $30. This one I feel like I can get 25 maybe, 25 to 30. I'll probably list it for 30 and maybe sell for 20 to 25. And I would be happy with that for a 50-cent investment. But again, now we're talking items that I should be watching. If I would have looked for items that were $20 on up, I would have probably only bought the curtains. I may have bought the pillowcases. And this last item, which I'm getting to, last two items, which I'm all excited about, I might have bought them. So let's go on to them. The pumpkin and the ghost here, she wanted $10 a piece for. And there's no way I could have paid $10 a piece for them because I felt they were worth in the 20s, but I wanted to look them up because they could be in the, up to 50. So when I got home, I could not find the ghost anywhere online. And I would say he would probably sell between 35 and 50. The pumpkin, maybe more in the $30 to $35 range. So my thought process as I'm putting all this on her table was I'm going to get a lot price. Oh, I forgot the little bunnies. We'll get back to them. So overall, all this stuff I paid $40 for. But my intention was I'm going to negotiate on this jewelry because there's 25 pieces. And if I buy all this jewelry, would you give me a good deal? And she said, sure. So with negotiating on all of this, you could have averaged it out and brought down the price of all of it. So my reasoning was I was going to be paying $25 for all the jewelry. Instead, I got her down on it, and I averaged them out. They're about 76 cents a piece, which I say I paid about $19 for them. And with all the rest of the negotiating, she threw out the total price with the discount on the jewelry and with the actual prices of everything else as is. And I asked her if she would take 40. It was over 40. And she said, yeah, sure, I'll take 40. So in turn, that brought down the price of these two, which I figured about $5 a piece. So I was pretty happy with all of that. That's a pretty good deal for all of this, especially the jewelry. All I really have to do is sell one of them to get my money back, and the rest is pure profit. But by throwing all this other little stuff in, I could negotiate a better price for all of it, especially them two, because I would have paid $20 for both of them if I would have just bought them by themselves. But instead, I got all of this for twice as much, which really isn't that much. And I'll be able to sell, say, 2 pieces of jewelry maybe, and get my money back. So the rest is pure profit. So it just depends on how you want to look at things. So these little bunnies, let's go back to them. This is not something I would normally have purchased, but I was on a roll and I thought Easter and people love holiday stuff. So I ended up getting these. They were only $1 and they are vintage. They're really cute, but they're nothing fancy and there's not a name brand or anything on the bottom. So should I have bought them? Probably not. But again, in my mind, I was throwing all of this stuff together as a lot price. And I thought I might as well throw them in too. So depending on what you want to do, it's going to take time to list them little bunnies. But you got to be focused and list them fast. And say, if you have something that's going to be a higher priced item like these, you might want to put a little more time into the description. But if you're going to put little bunnies on there for $15, you might want to try to just limit the description. I know that's bad. Everybody says you need to list everything thoroughly, but just focus and go faster when you're listing little stuff like that. That's my theory, and that's how I have to do things. So hope that helps out a little bit. And next we're going to show you what I got at the estate sale. Okay, at the estate sale, we also got jewelry, and it was mostly an Air Force man that lived there, and I think his wife had passed away, so he had some of her stuff left, but most of the stuff in this house was his. And this particular box had a whole bunch of jewelry, and I pieced through it, and there was nothing left. This was the second day of the sale, so I'm sure it was well picked over, and all the silver and gold was taken out of it if it wasn't previous to that. So what I got was costume jewelry and a lot of vintage, and I thought there was some cool pieces in here. The top piece on the top right is a large vintage floral brooch. It's really different. It's interesting. Again, none of it's gold. This Trifari necklace was really pretty, I thought, so I thought I'd pick that up. And these three brooches were part of a bag of jewelry. So this one on the bottom right is a mamselle, Mamselle. And then this horse right here looks to me like a jelly belly, but I'm not sure. And there's no name on the back, so I'll have to look into that a little bit better. And this pretty flower. And this telephone I just loved. It reminds me of the carnival glass. I'm sure this is a lot newer than it. It's a lot shinier, but it's really an interesting piece. It's a brooch, and each one of the pieces has a pin on the back. And then this necklace is an enamel necklace. It's not gold. There's no markings on it. I haven't tested it for gold yet, but I am pretty sure it's not. And these I thought were possibly silver, but they're testing magnetic, so the clip on the back is, so I don't think they're silver. But they're also pretty and they're vintage. So that's the set of jewelry I got. I spent $23, I'm pretty sure, on all of it, and that was with a discounted price, and I negotiated a price with her. Then we moved over to this USAF scarf. It's just a narrow, long scarf, and it was half price day, so it was at $1. I got it for 50 cents, and I think I'll sell it for $15 to $20. Then they also had a whole bunch of military items. Air Force Reserve. We live close to an Air Force base, and I thought, we could find a lot of Air Force stuff, but I don't really know a whole lot about it, so I was afraid to buy some of it. I looked up some things, but this I found I could make a profit on. There's about 15 of them in there, and as you can see, it was $6. I got it for half price, so 3. I think I can sell maybe 3 of them for 15, and you multiply that times 5, so that's a pretty good purchase. This next thing was a Korea banner. They had it hanging on a doorknob, and I don't know, it was calling my name, and I felt I needed to get it. I really didn't know the value of it. It was $2, and I got it for $1. I'll have to look into that. I might be able to sell it for 15 to 25. That's kind of where I'm thinking. And then this dolphin driftwood, as you can see, they carved it out of a piece of driftwood, and it was $4. I got it for 2. Yes. And they had a lot of eagle stuff, so I got some eagles too. But first we're going to talk about these ornaments. They're German ornaments. I don't know about the big Santa, but the little wooden ones, I think they're handmade. This one looks like a little nativity scene, and the price ain't showing. Here it says original handgemalt, which I think means handmade. There's a cute little parachute Santa, and this one has an original price tag on it that says $17.50. So they're pretty expensive little ornaments originally. And the other ones are about, you can see that one says $15.75, and I think this other one was $15. So I should be able to get probably 25 for the 4 of them, and then I'll have to look the Santa up. I don't think he's worth a whole lot. This next item is a box full of, they look like medieval type of handles, which I think are really cool. And the handle swivels. There's a whole box of them. Plus they have some brackets for, I think, which were the door brackets, the hinges. It's full, and I bought it for $4, and I should be able to get 25 out of the whole box, if not more. I'll have to look them up too. Okay, the next item, if I can do this without shaking you around, is this hawk or eagle, which I absolutely love. He's hand carved, and I'm pretty sure it's an eagle, but it does have that hawk look to him. He was $6, and I'll probably put $49.95 on him to start. I'm sure I'll have to go down, but you never know. I think he's worth that. And then again, this guy had lots of eagle stuff. And these 3 pieces were hand carved as well. They might just be tourist stop souvenirs, which I ended up paying about $1.50 a piece for each one. I might sell them together, and they might sell for 15 to 25 in that range. And behind this is a vintage Christmas lights, and the wire in here, as you can see, it's big and thick, and it was for blinking lights. I was afraid to plug it in because it's the old wire, and when I did, they heat up, and that's when they start blinking. And some of the light bulbs blew out, so I'm afraid to sell them. But I might take some of the bulbs out that are in good shape, because some of them were peeling. The color was peeling off of them. I'll throw them away, but the rest of them I might sell together. It depends, but it's probably not worth a whole lot now. So I paid $1 for the bag. It's not too bad of an investment if I have to throw them away. This Dayton is a wool pennant, which I don't see very often, and it's in really good shape. It looks brand new. I don't even know that he used it. It still has the hanger, what do you call it, the hanger on the top, and it's made by the Genuine Merchandise baseball winning streak sports company, whatever. It's Genuine Merchandise. So I think that's in pretty good shape. I paid $2.50 for it, so we should be able to make our money back plus profit on that. This last thing is really pretty. It's one of the first things I picked up at the sale. It's pretty green glass, and it has a Buddha, well, I call it a Buddha woman on it. If you can, let me set it down. If you can see, there's her face right there. And she has like a mermaid body. So I'm not sure what her name is. She's kind of mystical. But it is a candle holder. It's really pretty. So I bought it for $2. That'll probably sell for, I don't know, 20 or 25 I might put on it. And then I also got these 3 scarves, which are really pretty. I think this is kind of a Western one. None of them have names, and they're not silk. They're all polyester. I shouldn't say none of them have names. This one is a lammy, and one of them has the name Patricia on it. But they're all polyester, so they're probably going to sell for maybe $12 to $15. So overall, I also had one more thing. I bought a brass eagle that I already have posted. So overall, I had spent $59, which is more than what I would have spent at at a yard sale. But I still feel like I got some items that are that have quality to them. But again, nothing real extreme in price. The winner I think out of this group is the Falcon or the Eagle that I'll sell for hopefully around $50, 40 to 50. And then the best out of the yard sale was the little ghost and the little pumpkin. They're the winners of the day. I'll let you know how that goes when they sell. So I hope you got some value out of this, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.